Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. I'll be taking you along with me for a Sunday morning routine, and honestly pretty much every morning I do these same things. The only difference is I do a load of dishes and laundry, or at least get them started, I should say, before I leave the house in the mornings. But Sunday mornings I typically do not. And I also asked some of my mom friends who go to church what their tips and tricks were to help encourage other moms, especially toddler moms. That's the season I am in. Get out the door a little quicker, a little easier, I should say, not even quicker, but just to have mental sanity before walking through the doors of the church. Sunday mornings always seem to be 10 times harder than every other morning to get out the door. And not that I believe there's a devil behind every door, but I do believe there's something powerful about faith-filled believers getting together. And so the first thing that both moms recommended, and I am absolutely on board with, is preparation the night before. So that includes, like I am doing here, packing my diaper bag, making sure we have plenty of diapers, wipes, snacks, activities, even just decluttering the diaper bag, taking out things that doesn't belong there, and just total doing a restock of everything that we could possibly need. And then grabbing anything that we would need to take tomorrow to church. The previous weekend was my baby shower, so I had some thank you cards to hand out. And the next day was also Mother's Day. So me and Eleanor made a few little Mother's Day crafts for my mom and my mother-in-law, and then our grandmas. So I got those together. Even my Bible. I like to take my planner to church. I know it's a little odd, but we do have two services at our church now, a 9 and an 11 o'clock service. We've been doing that for a few weeks. So I have some downtime in between services. If you're new here to my channel, me and my husband do lead worship at our church. It is such an honor and a privilege. We absolutely love it. So we do get there earlier than most people do. So having these things done the night before are super useful, super helpful, just to get in the presence of the Lord kind of mindset before we even step through the doors of the church. So I pick out my clothes. I knew this was the dress that I wanted to wear for Mother's Day, and it was full of wrinkles. So I knew it needed to be steamed, an extra thing I could do the night before, so I wouldn't even have to think about it in the morning. I could just put it right on. And I'll link this little hand steamer down below. It's from Amazon. Super awesome. I got it for Christmas, I think this past year. No, the year before. Yeah. And I have used it so many times. I had been using my mom so many times, and I can't remember if it was her, my mother-in-law, that finally got it for me, because I was like, I use this thing way too often not to have my own. So I will link that down below. So picking out my clothes, even my husband's clothes and my daughter's clothes, just save an extra step. And then the next morning, I will admit that usually I am in my jammies still, as I tell my daughter, at this point when I'm doing my skincare routine, brushing my teeth. But for the sake of the video, I was not going to stay in my jammies. And then I have found this line of products called Dime. They use cleaner ingredients in their products, and my skin has been thriving on them throughout my pregnancy. It has been awesome. And one of my goals after my postpartum is to continue just my simple little skincare routine. I'm not a super fancy, in-depth skincare person or really makeup person either. I've never really been super into it and felt like I was really good at it. So I just keep things very minimal. I even got Eleanor's hair products out. I just used some Honest detangler to spray her hair with before I put it up. And then another step that saved me this morning was doing my hair the night before in some heatless curlers. And I absolutely love this one. I believe it's on Amazon as well. I'll try to find it and link that below. And it would have worked a lot better if it hadn't been so humid outside. I don't usually use hairspray either. My hair holds curls pretty well unless it's super humid outside. In the short amount of time that it took me to feed my chickens and water my garden, most of my curls fell out. I was very sad, but it would have been very useful. And I do not do this every single Sunday morning and do those things every single Saturday evening to prepare. I want to be realistic here. That's not how this always goes. This is more of my ideal Sunday morning routine. My husband also got up a lot earlier than he typically does. He operates a wrecker, and he got a early morning tow So he's on call 24/7, and he got up pretty early, which is another reason why I was super glad that I did some things the night before, because he is a huge help in the mornings getting out the door, carrying things, just all the tin cups you need to take to church with your coffee and your water and the kids' cups and all the things. So he's just a big help in the morning time. But I did not have that this morning. He actually met us at church after his toe. So I'm so glad, so grateful that I had done those little extra steps to help. Again, this is the ideal version of a Sunday morning. Typically, he is still in the bed at this point, and sometimes I'm still in my jammies at this point, but I get to make my bed this morning because he was not in it. And it was nice to come home to a made bed in a clean space. But again, ideal, not always realistic. I know YouTube and just social media in general can always be made out to be like everything is perfect and everything always goes this way. But you will see, I didn't even include any clips with my daughter in it because I knew she just needed my full attention on Sunday mornings. I usually let her sleep to the last minute, and I'm just giving her my full attention, getting her ready to get out the door. So I don't even think I got her in one of these clips. But the next thing I do is make myself a cup of hot tea. This is caffeinated. I think it's like 70 milligrams of caffeine. I'm pregnant, so you're not supposed to have too much caffeine. But I have just not really been a huge coffee fan this pregnancy. I have a cup every once in a while, but my main go-to has been hot tea, and I absolutely love it. Um, so that is always just a fun little part of my morning rhythm routine, is making myself a cup of tea. And usually I do have to reheat it about 3 times before getting out the door. This is a very realistic part of my morning, and pretty much every morning, I am not a night person. And so when I'm tired, after I put Eleanor to bed, typically I fall asleep in her bed. Then I get up and go to my bed and go back to sleep. But I do not take the time, as I think mainstream YouTubers and people in social media would say, to put my home to bed, my kitchen to sleep, or whatever they call it. I cannot jump on the bandwagon. I am so much more a morning person. I'm so much more productive in the morning. It just gives me a task that is already checked off the list, a tidy home in the morning time. And sometimes I do put my kitchen to bed, as you could say, and it does feel great getting up in the morning and not having a kitchen to clean, or a house to tidy up. But most of the time I'm tidying up in the morning. I'm just super productive in the mornings. So I turn on my humidifier, or usually I'll light a candle. I've been loving just the orange essential oil. I found a variety pack of organic essential oils on Amazon. I'll try to link that as well. And then today was Mother's Day, and we had a Mother's Day breakfast at our church. But I have always been, even pre-pregnancy, been an early breakfast person. I have to get something on my stomach pretty early in the morning. So I went ahead and just made me some avocado toast. And another idea, a helpful tip, is just to think about what you're going to eat in the morning. Not always necessarily cooking what you are going to make in the morning, but just having the idea, especially like right now. I think I mentioned in my last video that Eleanor is going through this like taste bud shift. And so just thinking about the things that she currently is liking, just having that in the back of my head so I know how long it takes to prepare it and to get it together. So that is another big tip for me. And then I am going to go outside and feed my chickens, let them out into their larger run. We've been keeping them inside the coop. They are growing and getting so big. They are such a joy to me. I feel like my Little House on the Prairie dreams have just come true. They just bring me so much joy. I could stay out there forever with them. Look how cute they were, just flying out of the coop. I guess if you're not a chicken person, it wouldn't be as cute to you, but I love them. And then I'm just going to water my garden. It is doing really good. I planted some marigolds. They're supposed to be like a more natural bug repellent kind of plant. So I put several of those around my plants, and hopefully those will work. We also had to do beetle bags last year just to protect some of our trees. And so we probably will be putting the beetle bags out as well this year. That helped a ton. We had to put up several beetle bags because they were constantly getting full. And then really the last thing I'm doing here, and again, I try to do this every single day, is read my Bible, open my word. As I mentioned again in my last video, I am first and foremost a daughter of Christ, and I want to make a priority to do this, to read my word, to get in there. And I want to encourage you, no matter how your Sunday morning looks, trying to get to church, remember you were going to worship the King of Kings. And I had one of the mom friends mention, and what I wanted to hone in on was that in the midst of even the chaos of the busyness in the morning, just to take time and be still with the Lord. Even if it's not like this, even if it's crying babies in your arm and you just take a moment to pray, even if you don't have the words to pray, just to be in his presence and say, God, thank you. I praise you. I love you. I thank you. Listening to worship music on the way to church was another one. Usually on Sunday mornings, I'm playing worship music as I'm getting ready. But definitely on the way to church, I usually play the songs that we're going to be singing that Sunday just to go ahead and get them in my spirit. But it was a beautiful Mother's Day, and it was just a wonderful church service. And we spent the rest of the day with our family. That's my daddy preaching. And it was just wonderful. So I hope these tips helped you and encouraged you, and I will catch you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.